Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session on quantitative aptitude for your IBPS PO and IBPS clerks preliminary examination brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in good health, you are fully excited about your upcoming IBPS PO and the other competitive exams that you have applied for, right? Remember the date today is August 30 and the tentative date for IBPS PO prelims is 13th of October. So we have just about 45 days for the first slot. And I think it's high time, really high time, that you have a proper strategy, have a nice study plan, and follow it with full discipline so that you leave no stone unturned and get fully ready before you walk into your examination center, right? Again, when it comes to the preparation strategy, we have already had one live session yesterday, or I think day before yesterday, and that session is available on YouTube and also in your learning platform, exam prep learning platform. So I suggest all of you go through that video, understand what study plan would suit you based on whatever was discussed there, and start preparing with a strategy, right? Preparation alone without a strategy is something that you should not try to do, right? It leads you to a no man's land and you'll be like muddled towards the end of it. You'll not understand how do you have to proceed from wherever you are, okay? So better have a plan and just follow it. Now you know that we have started this series of sessions for IBPS PO preliminary examination, and the same would also help you in the IBPS PO clerks exam, right? As a part of this, you will have All India mock exams every weekend. So we had our first All India mock IBPS exam last weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And what follows after the All India mock exam is a bunch of live classes. I think 5 or 6 live classes every week, right? Now these live sessions will be on number 1, quantitative aptitude, number 2, reasoning ability, number 3, English language, number 4, current affairs. Now you may ask, why is current affairs required? Because we don't have, general awareness section in the prelims exam. But then you know that preparation for your mains exam should begin now. You cannot prepare after your prelims gets over, right? So we'll have one session on current affairs. We'll also have one session on general awareness and banking, so that you prepare at least something every week, right? So these are 5 sessions. There will be one doubts clarification session every Saturday where you can get your doubts clarified, and we will have one exam strategy or a preparation strategy sort of session every Wednesday, right? So the calendar is available, you can check it out and participate in all these events. Take the All India mock exam, number 1, right? And then join us in all these events so that you progress in the right direction, right? And of course there are thousands of videos and other books available for your concept building, so you can make use of those as well, right? So I think that's the idea. I'm sure those who have recently enrolled in the Talent Sprint's premium coaching would benefit from whatever I had mentioned in the last 2 minutes about the way we are going to deal with your preparation for IBPS PO. Now without waiting for any more time, let me just quickly see if there are any questions for me, anything specific that I have to address. And then we shall move on to the discussion of questions. So what are we going to do in this session today is take up those 35 questions which were asked in the All India mock exam conducted last weekend and solve those here. Now I need not solve all the 35. I'm sure some of those questions are really simple and straightforward, right? And the written solution that is given there would help you anyways. So I'll only choose those where some explanation is needed, or something which is not very straight, okay? And if there is anything in particular that you want me to solve from the paper, please do mention in the chat. We will definitely take that up. Alright, so I see many of you have joined the chat here. Welcome everyone. I'm sure some of you are new to Talent Sprint's platform. This probably would be your first live class. So I hope you have a great time here and great learning with Talent Sprint. And I don't see any questions other than just the greetings there. So welcome all. Yeah. Somebody's talking about CAM scanner and stuff, and what else do we have? Alright, what about puzzles? Go Indigo. Somebody from Go Indigo has joined us now. Okay, so what about puzzles? I think we will take up puzzles in our reasoning sessions, right? We will also discuss, we usually discuss a lot of puzzles in our doubts clarification sessions as well. And you have other practice tests available on the platform, so please participate in those practice tests and try and solve those puzzles. I think there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut. Practice is the key. Yeah. And GoIndigo says it's his or her first live class. So welcome. I'm sure you'll have the best of resources available here for your preparation. So let's get started. I think I have the presentation with me of all the questions that were asked in the only mock exam. Let's start with some independent questions, the regular word-based problems, the so-called word problems, and then move on to, I think, a couple of questions that were asked on data interpretation, some questions on number series and simplifications and stuff, right? Okay, I think I've got first relevant question before I get into the discussion. Nitin Kumar says, how many mock tests are available? Nitin, I think the plan is to have 20 practice tests in the IBPSPO format. In addition to that, you will have at least 8 all India mock exams, again in the IBPSPO format. The same is applicable for IBPS clerks as well. And then you will have some previous papers available. So I'm sure we'll have at least 30-35 papers on the platform. I mean, all the 35 are not available right away, right? I'm sure you also will not need it on the day one itself. But then a lot of papers are available. A lot of them will get added in due course of time. The schedule is also available on the test site. You can check it out and keep practicing through those papers. Sasi Kumar says, what is the difference in prelims and mains from quantitative aptitude, hard or easy? Well, of course, the main examination aptitude section and any section in the main exam will be difficult compared to the preliminary exam. There's no second thoughts to that. How to prepare for English? Well, Sanjay, a very generic question, and I think I'm not the expert to answer that. We'll have Vaishnavi taking your English class tomorrow at 6 p.m. So please ask her the same question. I'm sure she will make it easy for you. TI analysis available for mock tests? Well, I have to address you as GoIndigo since that's your username. I am not sure about the name there. TI analysis is available for all the all India mock exams. For the regular practices, you will have a detailed report available on the platform itself. Okay. Now let's get started. I think these kind of questions will keep coming in. You can keep posting your queries and questions. I'll take it up from time to time. Let's start now with the first question, which is on ratios and proportions. Looks like ratio and proportions, which is on your screens now. The question here is, in class A, boys and girls are in the ratio 2:3, and in class B, girls and boys are in the ratio 5:3. If the number of students in class A is at least twice as many the number of students in class B, what is the minimum percentage of boys when both classes are considered together? So here he's talking about two classes, right? There is class A, which has got boys and girls in the ratio of 2:3, right? Boys and girls are in the ratio 2:3. And then we have another class B, which has got girls and boys. Pay attention to the wording here. It is not boys and girls. It is girls and boys who are in the ratio 5:3. Now, if girls and boys are 5:3, boys and girls will be 3:5, right? Remember, for the sake of simplicity, it's always better to have a similar ratio. Boys is to girls and boys is to girls, right? So 2:3 is first class ratio, class A's ratio, and 3:5 is the second class ratio. Now, if the number of students in class A is twice the number of students in class B, right? Let's say the number of students in class A is NA. According to the data, number of students in class A is twice, at least twice the number of students of class B, right? Number of students of class B, at least twice. At least twice means it is greater than or equal to 2 times of NB, right? Number of students in A is at least twice of NB. Now, what exactly is the equation is not known, but minimum 2 times. Then he says, what is the minimum percentage of boys when both the classes are considered together? So if you consider both the classes together, what will be the minimum percentage of boys? Now, it may appear to be a little typical and something which we have never seen in the past, but then the solution is pretty straightforward, right? All you have to do is ensure that you satisfy this condition of number of students being at least twice, right? Take some number which gives you at least twice, and proceed with the calculation, right? Proceed with the calculation. So I think, how do you do that? If you see, the number of parts for the first class is 5, right? 2 parts of boys and 3 parts of girls. 5. Here we've got 3 parts of boys and 5 parts of girls, so 8 parts. So 5 parts and 8 parts. I think it's better if you deal with a common multiple, right? Or maybe you can avoid common multiple also. Doesn't matter. All you have to ensure is number of students in A should be twice of number of students in B. Yeah. For example, let's say let's say there are actually 3 boys and number of boys here is equal to 3 and number of girls here is equal to 5. Right? Number of boys is 3 and number of girls is 5. So what is the total number of students in class B? Total of class B is going to be 8 students. Right? Now you have to ensure that the total of class A is greater than or equal to 8. Twice of 8. Greater than or equal to twice of 8. You understand? 2 into 8, which is 16. It should be at least 16. You're getting it? See, you need not put these steps on paper. Don't assume that the solution is lengthy or it's taking too much of time. I'm trying to explain you in detail. Otherwise, you can cut down the number of steps and get to the answer really fast. Right? What you have to ensure is the number of students in class B should be at least 2 times of 8. At least 60. Minimum 60. Now, the 2 parts and 3 parts, 5, right? It should be a multiple of 5. The number of students in class A should be a multiple of 5. Now, what is the smallest multiple of 5 that you can think of after 16? You can take something high also, but I think let's go with 20. Let's say there are 20. Totally there are 20 students. Here let's assume there are 20 students. So we have considered 8 students in class B and then we have considered 20 students in class A. We can take anything more than 60. I am going with 20. You can take 25 also. You can take 30, 40. It doesn't matter. Let's stick to 20. So how many boys would be there now? See, the ratio is 2:3. The ratio is 2:3. So number of boys in class A will be total 5 parts, right? Each part will be equal to 4. So number of boys will be 8 and number of girls are going to be 12. So 8 and 12, 20 students. 3 and 5, 8 students. Let me remind you, this 8 was an assumption. We started with an assumption that there are 3 boys and 5 girls. We can take 6 boys and 10 girls. We can take 9 boys and 15 girls. You can take any number there. It doesn't really matter. See, the original value doesn't matter because eventually what we have to see is the minimum percentage of boys. We have to find out what is the minimum percentage of boys in such a case. Right? Now, what do you see? Minimum percentage of boys when both the classes are considered together. So if you consider both the classes together, how many boys do we have? 8 boys in class A and 3 boys in class B. So 8 plus 3. Out of total how many students? 20 in class A and 8 in class B. 20 plus 8 into 100. X is what percent of y? Minimum percent. What is the percentage of boys in the two classes together? So number of boys by number of students. So 8 plus 3 by 20 plus 8, 28. So this is actually 11 upon 28 into 100. Now calculation is the key. Calculation you will have to do, and when you simplify you will find that the answer comes out to be 39.17, option 3, right? Now you may wonder that with 8 as an assumption the answer is 39.17, but what if we take 16 here? What if we take 24 here? What if we take 80 here? Doesn't matter. Eventually the answer will be 39.17. The minimum is going to be 39. It cannot be less than 39.17. You may get something you're able to follow. It cannot be less than 39.17. See, if I have to do an approximate calculation, I think I can eliminate. This is going to be less than 40%, I'm sure, right? Less than 40%. Slightly less than 40%. I mean, I'm doing mental math here, and you have to do the same, or start doing the calculation. I mean, if you have to do it in detail, this is 4 times 25, this is 4 times 7. So 11 into 25. 11 into 25 is 275. 275 upon 7. So I'll break 275 as 280 minus 5. See, it's all about splitting the number, right? Split and merge is a very, very important technique. You should practice on your calculations, right? So I'm taking 275 as 280 minus 5. So what happens? 280 minus 5 by 7. So 280 by 7 is 40. You understand? This 275 is 280 minus 5. So this becomes 280 by 7 minus 5 by 7. Now 280 by 7 is straight 40 minus 5 by 7 minus 5 by 7. 5 by 7 is what? It's less than 1%. So it should be 39 point something, right? 39 point something. Option 3 satisfies. Remember, your numbers could be different. I have taken 8 and 20. You could have taken anything, but answer remains 39.17%. So option 3 is the answer. Option 3 is the answer. Let me see if there are any queries. Sanjay says, how did you get 8 plus 3? Well, Sanjay, 8 plus 3 is the number of boys, total number of boys in class A and class B put together. Right? He's asking us to find the percentage of boys. What do? Total boys upon total students. Anand Kumar says, can we take any ratio initially? No, ratios are given. 2:3 and 3:5 are given. You can take any number. Anand Kumar, you cannot take any ratio, but you can take any number there, satisfying those ratios. Ratios are very clearly specified, 2:3 and 5:3, or 2:3 and 3:5. So ensure that the numbers that you choose should satisfy both the ratios and also should satisfy the condition that number of students in A is at least 2 times the number of students in B. Okay. Should we move on? Shall I go to the next question? Yeah, I think I can just move on, right? This was not very difficult. It's just that a little different from what we have usually seen in the past. Kamal Sharma has got a query here. He says, I have started preparing from August only and really finding quant videos very helpful, but how to watch all of them in a month? Even if I dedicate 3 hours for quant daily, only one topic is what I can manage. Yeah, so even, I mean, if I'm glad that you're at least ready to spend 3 hours per day on quant. So even if you spend 3 hours per day on quant and you're able to finish one topic per day, the month of September should be enough for you to finish all the topics, right? How many topics do we have? I think around 22, 23 topics, 23 or 24 topics. See, don't prepare for all the topics. Many of the topics in quantitative aptitude are not relevant for bank exams, right? Like geometry, trigonometry, algebra, right? And surds and indices, heights and distances and things like that. So don't count all the topics. Look at the study plan. You know what topics are important. Just prepare according to that. Okay, let me move on to the next one now. Shubham says, please explain again in short. Shubham, it's simple. 2 ratios are given and a condition is given. The condition says number of students in one class is at least twice the number of students in the other class. Just follow those conditions. We have done nothing else. Just follow those conditions. You'll be able to get the answer, right? You watch the video. It will get archived tomorrow. Watch the video. If you still do not follow it, you can meet us in doubts clarification session. Let me present the next question to you all. The next question is from time and distance. It says time and work. It's B takes 12 more days than A to finish a piece of work. B and A start this work and A leaves the work 12 days before the work is finished. B completes 60% of the overall work. How long would B have taken to finish the work if he had worked independently? Right? So he talks about 2 persons here, B and A, where B takes 12 more days than A to finish a piece of work. So let's assume the number of days required by A to finish a piece of work is A. And in that case, the number of days required by B would be A plus 12, right? B would take A plus 12 days. Now B and A start this work and A leaves the work 12 days before the work is finished. A leaves the work 12 days before the work is finished. Now understand, we do not know for how many days did these two guys work together, right? All we know is they started the work together, they work for some number of days, and after that, A leaves 12 days before the work is finished. Meaning, in the last 12 days, we had only B working on this. A was not a participant in the last 12 days. Only B was working on it. Okay? So let's assume that B and A together worked for D days. They together work for D days. They work for D days. And after that, A leaves. And B continues the work for 12 more days to finish the work. It says B completes 60% of the overall work. In this whole process, B has completed 60% of the overall work. It is obvious that if B has completed 60%, A has done 40%. There are only 2 persons. If B has done 60% of the total work, A would have done 40%. Now, how long would B have taken to finish the work if he had worked independently? Meaning, what is A plus 12 is the question. How long would B take if he works independently? Right? Now, all you have to do is frame the work equation. Frame the work equation, right? What is the total work? 1 unit. We know that the total work is 1 unit. Who has done this total work? A and B together. Remember, A works for how many days? D days. A works for D days. His capacity is what? A's capacity is 1 by A. Right? If A can finish the work in A days, his capacity is 1 by A. What is B's capacity? B's capacity will be 1 by A plus 12. B's capacity is 1 by A plus 12. Right? B can finish the work in A plus 12 days. So his capacity is going to be 1 by A plus 12. Now, A worked for how many days? D days. So how much will he do? D into 1 by A, which is D by A. B worked for how many days? B worked for D plus 12 days. B worked for the first D days and then he also worked for 12 more days. So B worked for D plus 12 days. And every day he could finish 1 by A plus 12. So what is the total work he will do? A plus 12. This is equal to 1. This is the work equation, right? Standard work equation. Number of days into the capacity will give you the work. So number of days D, capacity 1 by A. Number of days D plus 12, capacity 1 by A plus 12. So A's work, B's work. Total gives us full work, 100% work or 1 unit of work, right? So that's the total. Now we know that this is 60%. This component here is 60%. And this component here is 40%, right? He says this is 60, so this should be 40. That's it. Just play with those two and you'll get the answer, right? How do we do that? See, we know that D by A is equivalent to 40% of the work, meaning it is 2 by 5. It is 2 by 5, right? So I can say D is equal to 2A by 5. Done. D is equal to 2A by 5. Now what's the next part? We know that D plus 12, I mean there are different ways of solving it, I'm just telling you how to go by the given percentages. The next part is D plus 12 by A plus 12 is 60%. And my pen has stopped working. Okay, so D plus 12 upon A plus 12 is 60%. 60% is nothing but 3 by 5. Now all you have to do is substitute D equals to 2A by 5 in this equation. Right? We know that D is equal to 2A by 5. Put that D equals to 2A by 5 here. And balance it with 3 by 5. So what happens? 2A by 5 plus 12 by A plus 12 equals to 3 by 5. Now solve this. So we have 2A plus, this is 12 into 5, 60. So 2A plus 60. This 5 will come in the denominator and it gets cancelled with this 5 here, right? Divided by A plus 12 equals to 3. Yes or no? So 2A plus 60 equals to 3A plus 36 or A equals to 24, right? So upon simplification, you get that A is equal to 24. Done. A is 24. The number of days that A would take is 24. But we have to find out the number of days that B will take to finish the work independently. B will take how many days? A plus 12 days. So if A is 24, A plus 12 will be 36. Option 2, 36 is the answer. Option 2, 36 is going to be the answer. Right? The same question can also be solved using the first part here. I mean, he says B takes 12 more days than A to finish the work. B takes 12 more days than A to finish the work. So number of days taken by B minus number of days taken by A is equal to 12. That equation also we can try to frame, but I think this is pretty straightforward. We are writing the work equation. We know that the first component is 40%, the second component is 60%. So from the first component, D by A equals to 40%, we write D equals to 2A by 5. And substitute that D equals to 2A by 5 in this place. This is 60%. Upon solving, you get A equals to 24. A plus 12 will come out to be 36. Right? So option 2, 36 is the answer. I hope all of you are clear with it. Yeah. Any confusions here? Can we move on? 36. I think all of you have got 36. So we can just move to the next one now. Sony says, is this equation correct? D minus 12 by A plus D by A plus 12 equals to 1 by D. Why do you get 1 by D on the right hand side? I assume you are taking total number of days as D. So B work for D days, A work for D minus 12 days. I think Sony, it appears to be right. It's just that on the right hand side you should not have D in the denominator. Why do you do 1 day's work? Because what you are taking on the left hand side is the total work, right? Number of days into capacity. It gives you the total work. So on the right hand side you should have 1. You should not have 1 by D. Okay. Renuka says, please explain in a smart way. Renuka, I think this is actually really smart, the way we have solved. Don't go by the number of steps. Please do not consider the number of steps. You can cut down half of these steps when you are solving it yourself. Now I can also do the same, but then it may get a little difficult for you guys to follow it. That is the reason I always put this detailed structure. But then just understand, one person does 40% of the work, the other person does 60% of the work, right? That's one thing we know. The other thing we know is one person takes 12 more days than the other person. Frame the equations and just play with those two equations to get the answer. See, it's simple. It's simple. You can cut down a lot of steps. This is a smart way in my view. Yeah. You can also refer to the solution that we have given in the mock test, right? I mean, if you actually look at the solution given in the mock exam, this thing, it is different from this one. So if you think this is complex, maybe you can follow that. Yeah. Chalo, let's move on to the next one. I think the next question is again a profit or loss. It's pretty simple. It says Mohan sells tomato in the street of Chowk Bazaar. Due to recent shortfall in the supply of tomato, he doubles his selling price despite the cost price remaining the same. He realized that his profit has tripled. Find the original profit percentage. So I think a simple one again. You just have to write the profit equation. It should not take more than 10 seconds for you to answer this question. The machine is working properly now, so let's solve this one. Here we go. The question reads, Mohan sells tomato in the street of Chowk Bazaar. Due to recent shortfall in the supply of tomato, he doubles his selling price, despite the cost price remaining the same. He realized that his profit has tripled. Find the original profit percentage. So basically, there are two use cases. Case one, where you do the regular selling, you get some profit. In case two, the selling price is doubled, while the cost price remains unchanged. However, the profit has tripled. So find the original profit percentage is the question here. What do we do? See, let's assume the original selling price is S. Original cost price is C. What will be the original profit? P. P will be equal to S minus C. In the second case, P dash, what will be the profit? See, selling price is doubled. So selling price will be 2S. But the cost price remains C. Cost price has not changed, right? So original profit is S minus C. The new profit, P dash, is 2S minus C. Right? Since the selling price doubled here. Now, the point to be noted is, he's mentioned that he realized that his profit has tripled, meaning P dash is thrice of P. The profit has tripled, right? P dash is thrice of P. Solve that. So P dash, which is 2S minus C, will be equal to 3 times of P. P is S minus C. So what do we get? 3S minus 2S. S equals to 3C minus C, 2C. Now that's the equations. That's the standard equation. We have got selling price is equal to twice of cost price. Now those who have followed the videos on profit and loss, they will know that if selling price is twice of cost price, then the profit is 100%. Now I will not be explaining how do we decide that profit is 100% just by looking at the equation. That has been discussed in detail in our videos, basic videos. Please go through that. Selling price is twice of cost price. See, twice of cost price actually means C plus C. So one cost price is there. You are getting 100% of the cost price as extra, meaning your profit is 100%. So option 2 is the answer. Yeah. Here's the next question. I think this is pretty straight. I'll just skip this. Try this one now. Try this one. I have skipped the previous one because it's a very simple question. Frame two equations, solve and get the answer. Maybe you guys can try this one now. A cistern can be filled by 2 pipes in 60 minutes and 80 minutes respectively. Both the pipes were opened at once, but after some time the first was closed and the cistern was filled in 10 minutes more. How long after the pipes had been opened was the first pipe closed? So interesting question. Let's see how many of you get the answer. See, it says a cistern can be filled by 2 pipes in 60 minutes and 80 minutes respectively. Both the pipes were opened at once, but after some time the first was closed and the cistern was filled in 10 minutes more. How long after the pipes had been opened was the first pipe closed? Now I'm sure you guys must have put in some equations and steps to get the answer. Let me give you a smarter way of solving this question, right? I'm not going by the detailed solution. Let me just give you the straight method. I mean, at least half of the solution can be done mentally. See, the point is, there are 2 pipes. The first pipe takes 60 minutes. The second one takes 80 minutes, right? Both the pipes were opened at once, but after some time, the first was closed. The first one was closed. 60 minutes pipe gets closed. And only the second pipe works. And the cistern was filled in 10 minutes more. 10 minutes more. Meaning, try to understand. The second pipe, which could actually fill the full tank in 80 minutes, worked alone for how many minutes? 10 minutes. Yes or no? The second pipe, which can fill the full cistern in 80 minutes, worked only for 10 minutes. Meaning, in the last 10 minutes, only that pipe was working. So, how much work do you think was done by the second pipe in the last 10 minutes? If it can do something in 80 minutes, in 10 minutes it will do 1/8 of the work. Yes or no? Let's say pipe A and pipe B. So, in pipe B, it can do the full work, 1 unit in 80 minutes. So, how much work will it do in 10 minutes? 1/8 of it. You don't have to write these steps. I'm just putting it so that all of you can follow, right? 10 into 1 by 80. 1/8 of the work was done by pipe B alone in the last 10 minutes. If 1/8 was done in the last 10 minutes, it is clear that by the time the first pipe was closed, 7/8 of the work was done. 7/8 of the, because total work was finished, right? The cistern was filled in the 10 minutes more. Meaning, before closing the first pipe, 7/8 of the work was already done. 1/8 was done by the pipe B in the last 10 minutes. 7/8 was done by both pipe A and B. In how much time? Because the question says how long after the pipes had been opened was the first pipe closed. When was the first pipe closed? The first pipe was closed when 7/8 of the work was done. Now this 7/8 was done by whom? By A and B together. The 7/8 of the work was done by A and B together. All you have to do is find out how much time will A and B together take to do 7/8 of the work. It's simple. First of all, find out how much total time will they take. Total time taken by A and B. For 1 unit of work, how much time will A and B take? AB by A plus B. We know the shortcut formula, right? If A takes A minutes and B takes B minutes, total time will be AB by A plus B. So 60 into 80 by 60 plus 80, which is 140. This is the time required for doing 1 unit of work. But how much work is to be done? Only 7 by 8 of the work is done. So how much time will be required is the question. Cross multiply. What will we get? 7 by 8 into 60 into 80 by 140 into 1 anyway. So this goes 20 times here, this goes 10 times, and this goes 3 times. So 3 tens is 30 minutes. Meaning in 30 minutes, they can finish. After 30 minutes, the first pipe was closed. Or in 30 minutes, they finished 7/8 of the work. Right? In 30 minutes, they finished 7/8 of the work. Yeah? I hope all of you have understood this. Somebody says, Divya says, I'm getting more than 30. I don't know where I'm going wrong. Divya, I'm sure now it's clear on the approach, right? How to use 10 more minutes in the equation. See, don't try to frame an equation. That's the idea, right? Mentally, if you understand, the second pipe worked alone for 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, it has done 1/8 of the work, obviously, because totally it takes 80 minutes. So 7/8 was already done by A and B together. Find out the total time required by A and B to do the full work, and then take 7/8 of that to get the actual time required. Shall I move on? Let's move on. Let's take up the next question. I think there's one question on ages. Again, straight one, but let me take it up. Try this now. Present age of Manish and his daughter Swati are in the ratio 9:2 respectively. Manish's wife Richa is 3 years younger than him, and 2 years hence the ratio between ages of Richa and Swati will be 7:2 respectively. So what is Swati's present age in years? Quick. Present age of Manish and his daughter Swati are in the ratio 9:2 respectively. Let's assume Manish's age is M, right, and so daughter's age is S. So M is to S is equal to 9:2. M is to S equals to 9:2. Manish's wife is Richa. Let's assume her age is R. So R, Richa's age, she is 3 years younger than him. Than him meaning Manish, right? So can I say R is equal to M minus 3? Richa is 3 years younger than Manish, M minus 3. And 2 years hence, the ratio between ages of Richa and Swati will be 7:2. 2 years hence, meaning after 2 years, the ratio of ages of Richa and Swati will be 7:2. Meaning, see, if Richa's present age is R, what will be her age after 2 years? R plus 2. If Swati's present age is S, what will be her age after 2 years? S plus 2. This will be equal to 7/2. R plus 2 by S plus 2 equals to 7/2. Right? 2 years hence he says. So R plus 2 by S plus 2 equals to 7/2. What is Swati's present age in years? S is equal to what? Is the question. Now, 3 equations, 3 variables you can solve. As simple as that. M, S and R. These are the 3 variables. We have got 3 equations. Equation number 1, right? Equation number 2 and equation number 3. You can solve for it and get the answer. But then, is there a smart way? Well, of course there is. See, I have always told you, when there are questions based on ratios, try to work on eliminating the wrong answers, or try to work on eliminating the unnecessary answers. For example, here we need to find out Swati's age. From the first ratio, can I conclude that Swati's age has to be a multiple of 2? The ratio is 9:2. So I can say Manish's age should be a multiple of 9. Suppose if he says, what is Manish's age in years? I'll immediately eliminate option 1, option 2, option 4 and option 5. Answer has to be 36 for Manish's age, for example. Because all the other options are not multiples of 9, right? Manish's age has to be multiple of 9. 8, 5, 33 and 11 are not the multiples of 9. So we can then say Manish's age is 36 years. If that is the case, if Manish's age is required. But the question is, what is Swati's age? I know that Swati's age has to be a multiple of 2. Swati's age has to be a multiple of 2. Look at the options. 8 years, possible. 5 years, not possible. 36 years, possible. 33 years, not possible. 11 years, not possible, because 5, 33 and 11 are not multiples of 2. Only 8 and 36 are the possible multiples of 2. Again, one simple thought I have, I mean, this need not be true always, but then if Swati herself is 36 years, Manish will be 18 into 9, will be 162 years old, which is impractical. Of course, we cannot, we don't have to be kind of so practical when solving questions on numbers, right? We can say Manish is 162 years also, but 36 looks impractical. You can try with checking 8 years. So now that 3 of the options are eliminated, I'll assume Swati's age is 8 years. Let's assume, go by option 1. Let's go by option 1. What is option 1? Option 1 tells us Swati's age is 8 years. Let us see if all the other things satisfy according to this. So if Swati's age is 8 years, meaning 2 parts is equal to 8. Yes or no? 9x and 2x. 2x equals to 8. So x equals to 4. If x is 4, 9x will be 36. So I can say Manish's age is 36. If Manish's age is 36, can I say Richa's age is 33? Yes. So by assuming Swati's age as 8 years, we have got Manish as 36 years old and Richa as 33 years old. Now verify the last equation. If this satisfies, then option 1 is the answer. If this does not satisfy, then option 3 has to be the answer. Now check, the last equation says r plus 2 by s plus 2 should be 7 by 2. What is r plus 2? 33 plus 2. What is s plus 2? 8 plus 2. How much do we get? 35 upon 10. Is this not 7 by 2? Yes. 5 into 7, 5 into 2. Does it match with the given condition? Yes. So can I say option 1 is the answer? Yes. Option 1, 8 years is the answer. And to do all this, it will not take more than 10 seconds in my view. It will not take more than 10 seconds. So play it smart, right? Do not put pen on paper unnecessarily, right? You have to cut down the number of cells. Even what you have put here on paper is not required. Mental verification tells us that 1 or 3 are possible. If I take 1, 8, 36 and 33 can be done mentally based on the equations there. And then 33 plus 2, 8 plus 2, 35 by 10, 7 by 2. Yes, option 1 is the answer. As simple as that. Yeah. So I hope all of you have got this. I mean, I'm sure all of you have got the answer. 8 years is what most of you had marked. All of you have marked, in fact. But what method did you follow is important. Okay, let's take up the next question now. This is an interesting one. See, it says, a vessel contains mixture of 3 types of milk A, B and C. The ratio of their quantity is 3:4:9 respectively. If 10 liters of mixture is taken out and 3 liters of A, B and C each are filled in the vessels, due to which the quantity of C becomes twice that of B. Find the initial quantity of the mixture. Understand, again, we have never solved using ratios or elimination in our questions on alligations and mixtures, but what happens is, generally when we talk about ages, right, it is an integer, right? I mean, age usually is 16 years, 17 years, 18 years. It's given that it cannot be 16.523 years or 18.97 years or 46.24 years. Generally age is given in terms of an integer. Similarly, the quantity also may be an integer, but at times it fails. So if you solve the question in detail, you will find out that 48 actually doesn't satisfy. Okay, so let's solve this question. Now you may ask me, how do we then know where to apply, where not to apply? Like I said, very slim chance that you may go wrong by applying that technique. However, you should quickly try to verify. Eliminating wrong answers is easy. I mean, that's what you have done here again. But like I said, yeah, very slim chance that it fails, and this is one such case. So you may not be able to identify it straight by looking at the question, but apply it where you are really confident that yes, it works. Like in case of ages also, even when you eliminate, quickly verify, like what we did in the previous case, right? We eliminated 3 options for Swati's age. 2 options were left out. We did not mark 8 as the answer directly, right? Using 8, we verified if the conditions are satisfied or not. And then we say yes, 8 is the answer. What happens in the whole process is we arrive at the answer much faster, right? Instead of solving it conventionally. So here, let's do the solution and see what the correct answer is. So here we go. The question says, a vessel contains mixture of 3 types of milk A, B and C. The ratio of their quantity is 3:4:9 respectively. If 10 liters of the mixture is taken out and 3 liters of A, B, C each are filled in the vessel, such that the quantity of C becomes twice that of B. Find the initial quantity of the mixture. Find the initial quantity of the mixture is the question here, right? So we have to work on the initial quantity of mixture. Now what does it say? There is a vessel which has got 3 types of milk, right? The 3 types are A, B and C. A, B and C, the ratio is 3:4:9. So A is to B is to C is equal to 3:4:9. There is some quantity in that vessel, right? Now 10 liters of the mixture is taken out. 10 liters of the mixture is taken out. So you remove 10 liters from that quantity. And 3 liters of A, B, C each are filled in the vessel. 3 liters of A, B, C are filled in the vessel, such that the quantity of C becomes twice that of B. Quantity of C becomes twice that of B. Now, an easy approach of solving the question would be, let us assume the vessel has got, let's say, the quantity of the vessel is Q plus 10. It has got A, B, C in what ratio? 3:4:9 as given in the question. 3:4:9, and the total quantity is 10 liters. Now from this you have removed 10 liters. From this you are removing 10 liters. And then you add 3 liters of A, B, C each, such that the quantity of C becomes twice that of B. So after removing 10 liters, minus 10 liters will give you what? It will give you another vessel. I mean, another vessel meaning another quantity where the ratio still remains 3:4:9. See, the ratio will never change. Ratio will remain 3:4:9 only because you have removed some quantity of this total quantity. You have removed 10 liters from the total quantity. You have not done any individual change as such. So now the quantity is Q liters. You getting it? So I'm breaking this problem into 2 parts. Instead of saying removing 10 liters of mixture and then adding 3 liters, I'm saying first remove 10 liters and get to this. So we have got a vessel with quantity Q liters and the ratio is 3:4:9. Now in this we are adding 3 liters of. So this was step 1. This was step 1. What we have done is step 1. Now in step 2 we will add 3 liters of A, B and C respectively, such that C becomes twice that of B. C becomes twice that of B. So basically what happens, the quantity of C is 9x, quantity of B is 4x, right? So according to the question, when you add 3 liters each, C will be what? It will be 9x plus 3. What will be B? It will be 4x plus 3. C is equal to twice of B is the question. 3x, 4x and 9x. These are the individual components. So C was 9x, we added 3 liters. B was 4x, we added 3 liters. And in this process, C becomes twice that of B. So 9x plus 3 becomes twice of 4x plus 3. Now solve for x here. What do we get? 9x minus 8x. X equals to 2, 3, 6 minus 3, 3. X is equal to 3. What is the total quantity Q? See, Q here will be equal to what? 3x plus 4x plus 9x. 3x plus 4x plus 9x, which is 16x. Q is equal to 16. So if x is 3, 16x will be 48 liters. Implies Q here is going to be 16 into 3. We have got x equals to 3 based on the condition that C becomes twice of B. So Q comes out to be 48 liters. Remember, Q is 48 liters. What is the question? Initial quantity of the mixture. It was Q plus 10. Initial quantity of the mixture, Q plus 10. It is 58 liters, right? Initial quantity of the mixture is Q plus 10 is equal to what? So that should be equal to 48 plus 10, 58 liters. 58 liters. So option 2 is the answer and not option 1 like what most of you have marked. So be careful. The technique is definitely useful. I would still prescribe that eliminating the options using the ratio, the proportions in the ratio, individual parts in the ratio would help eliminating the wrong answers. But be careful. Apply it in cases where answer cannot be a non-integer value. Like quantity can be 5 liters 50 ml, 5 liters 500 ml, 5.6 liters and so on, 5.9 liters, 58 liters and so on. Like if you're talking about number of boys and girls in a class, then it cannot be a non-integer value because number of boys has to be an integer, number of girls have to be an integer. Ages also can be non-integer. My age can be 15.4 years or 30.6 years or 49.8 years. But generally it is in an integer format. So wherever you think the variable can not be a non-integer, there definitely you can go for the technique. In such cases, be a little careful. Okay, so 58 is the answer. Let's now move on to the next question. I think there's one question about total number of students in a college where 12% are interested in sports, 75% are interested in dancing, 10% are interested in singing, and remaining 15% are not interested in any activities. The remaining 15 are not interested in activities. What's the total number of students in the college? This is like a setter, right? I mean, you cannot expect a question easier than that. It looks to be a lengthy one, 4 lines of question, but the solution is 4 seconds if you're smart in your calculations. So, I'm just skipping that. I'm sure you guys can do it yourself. You should have got 1 mark in the exam for that one. If you have solved that incorrectly, then something is seriously wrong with all of you. I mean, with those who have got it wrong. So pay attention to what you're solving. I can see a couple of you asking, how did we initially take Q plus 10? Instead of taking Q and then Q minus 10, I'm taking Q plus 10 and Q. See, you can take initially Q also. Even that is fine. Remove 10 liters and then add 3 liters. It's just that I am trying to take 3x, 4x, 9x for the second part, right? So, I mean, if you initially take Q and then in the second step you take Q minus 10, then Q minus 10 will be 16x. So 16x comes out to be 48. Q minus 10 will be 48. Q will be 58. It is just the same. I mean, it's the way you look at it. Instead of saying there is a quantity Q, I am removing 10 liters. I am saying quantity is Q plus 10. I am removing 10 liters. I am left with Q liters. That's the only thing, right? So don't get swayed by Q or Q plus 10. Either ways, you will get the same answer. Initial quantity will be 58. Okay. So I'm moving on to the next set. I think next set are these quadratic equations, which I'm sure needs no additional intelligence, right? You know how to solve quadratic equations. Comparison has to be done, and we have to find out, is x greater than y, x less than y, x greater than or equal to y, or less than or equal to y. So I would like to skip those questions because there is nothing special that I can do there. We have already done videos on it. We have solved questions through doubts clarification sessions also. So you can follow the solutions given there in case you're not able to find out the individual roots. Okay. What we have next are questions and approximations. So I think this would be interesting. So let me take up questions and approximation. Let me tell you, I will also skip the questions on number series. Why is it so? I have no idea how to solve questions in number series. There is a logic, apply that logic and get the answer. All the logics, I don't know if logics is the right term, but all the solutions have been given in detail in the solution section of your mock exam. So you can refer to that to understand the logic behind these questions and number series. So number series and quadratic equations is out of our discussion today. No point in doing that. Let's take up approximations. Interesting. Take up approximations. Okay. Okay, Sony has asked me something here. He says, can we apply this tip? Because 10 liters when divided by 349 gives fractional values, the shortcut doesn't apply? No. You can't generalize in that way, Sony. Any solid or concrete reason to generalize in that way. Okay. So just keep that out of your mind. Okay. Now the questions and approximations. The first one is on your screen here. Oh, interesting. 87, okay, 8,79,542 divided by 8568 into 80 plus 5.99 into 1198.88 equals to what? Let me tell you one thumb rule that all of you should follow when you're solving questions on approximations is do not apply any of the special techniques that we know. What are the special techniques that I'm talking about? Unit digit method. Not applicable when it comes to approximations. Digital root method or root digit method doesn't apply when it comes to approximations, right? Because the answers are not accurate. It's an approximate answer. The only thing that you all should pay attention to while answering questions from approximations is that look at the options, because that gives you a sense of the range to which you can approximate. If the options are too close, then you cannot do too much of an approximation, right? If the options are spaced out properly, then it becomes easier for you to go for a like in this case 16,400, 15,200. Again, it also depends on the numbers given the question. Not that the question is not important, but options give you that sense. So 16,400, 15,200, 16,800, 14,500, 17,200 looks okay. I'm not sure if I think looks okay. And if you look at the terms in the question also, right, 5.99 is like 6. It's given. You don't have to worry about it. 1198.88 can be taken as 1200, right? Those are basic approximations. What would matter here is the first part. Okay. So I think important point is not to apply any of the special techniques and throw a glance at the options, decide do we have room for, or how much room do we have for approximation, and then apply the do the calculation to get the answer. So the first question from approximation here is on your screens. All right, let's take it up. So the first question from approximations here, 8,79,542 upon, see, writing it in a proper fashion would really help to a great extent, right? 8,568 multiplied by 80. See, this makes it look more, makes it look easier, right? Plus, I'm taking 5.99 as 6, right? This is like straight 6. And 1198.88 is very close to 1199. So 1200. 6 into 1200. This is equal to what is the question, right? 8,79,542 divided by 8,568 into 80 plus 6 into 1200. Now this 6 into 1200 is simple. This is 7,200. So the second term is easy, right? 6 into 1200, 7,200. The first term needs a little bit of calculation. Now see, 8,568 into 100 will give you 8,56,800. You understand? You are getting my point? I mean, you can say this goes 100 times, but it will be more than 100. It will be more than 100. 8,568 into 100. I mean, I'll just put my thoughts on paper. I mean, you should be able to visualize this. 8,568 into 100 is equal to 8,56,800. What we have here is 8,79,542. So that's like close to 20,000 more than this, right? Or maybe 23,000 more than this. Plus 23,000, right? Only then you get what? 8,79,800, which is close to 8,79,542. Now 23,000, meaning I can break 8,79,542. Again, this whole idea is split and merge. I will break it as 856,800 plus 23,000 approximately. Yes or no? So this is 100 times clearly, right? 8,568 by 8,568 is 100 times. That's clear. 23,000 divided by 8,568. 23,000 divided by 8,568. How much is that? About 3 times. In fact, less than 3 times. So 103. It's like 103. You're getting it? That clarity you must have. So it boils down to this. The whole calculation now boils down to 103 into 80 plus 7,200. 103 into 80, 8,240. 100 into 80 is 8,000. 3 into 80 is 240. 8,240. So this is like 8,240. 8,240 plus 7,200 is 15,440. Look at the options. Now, we may not know what the correct answer is, but we will definitely know what the wrong answers are. Answer cannot be 14,500. Answer cannot be 17,200 because it is 15,000 change. 15,500, 15,400. 16,800 is out of scope. 16,400 is also out of scope. The best option that we have is 15,200, option 2. Again, do not go by the length of the explanation, guys. Because explanation takes time. When you solve it yourself, right, you can cut down a lot of steps. A lot of talk that I did can be avoided and you arrive at the answer faster. All you have to understand is techniques are not applicable, unidigit method, digital root method, and options are important. That tells you how much room you have for approximation. And always try to find the best answer. There is no correct answer. There is always a best answer when it comes to approximations. So what is the best answer is what we are behind when you're answering questions from approximations. Move on to the next question. Here's the next one. 7854.49 times 0.75 equals plus 3654.98 into 59.876. 20 seconds. All right. Let's take it up. So the next question on approximations. 7,854.49 into 0.75 plus 3,654.98 into 59.876. Clearly this is like, 3,655. Yes or no? 54.98 is 55. So 3655. No second thoughts on that. Into 59.876 is like 60. Again, no second thoughts on that. Plus, what do we have on the first side? Now this is 7,854.49. So can I take it as 7,855? Let's say this is 7,855 into 0.75. See, 0.75 is like 75%. See, again, this is my comfort, so I'm converting it to 75%. See, the idea that I have is whenever you, for me, percentage based calculations are easier to do. Multiplying a number with 0.75 would take longer than taking 75% of that number, or taking 3/4 of that number. 75% or 3/4 is one and the same. So when I say you have to multiply something by 0.75, it appears a little complex. It's again mental, all mindset. But when I say 75% of the number has to be taken, it becomes easy. Maybe because I feel I am good at percentage-based calculations compared to multiplication-based calculations. Okay, so 75% of 7,855. Now 7,855, if you want to now if you throw a glance at the options, 2,02,000, 2,42,000, 2,25,000, 2,34,000, 2,98,000, I have a lot of room to do approximate calculation, right? So I can as well take it as 8,000 and try it out. I can take it as 8,000, 75% of 8,000, 75% of 8,000, 6,000, straight. Yes or no? 75% of 8,000, 6,000, slightly less than 6,000 maybe, because this is 7,855, right? So I'll get somewhere around 6,000. So approximately the first term is 6,000. It is approximately equal to 6,000 plus, look at the second term. What is the second term? 3655 into 60. So that's like 36 into 6. 3,006. I mean, again, to make it easy, what you should ideally do is 3,600 plus 55, or plus 50 plus 5. I mean, if that makes your life easier. So 3,600 into 60, 50 into 60, 5 into 60. Now what is 36 into 6? 36 into 6 is 216. So 3,600 into 60 will be 216 with 3 zeros, which is 2,16,000, plus 50 into 60 is 3,000, plus 5 into 60 is 300. That's it. So what happens is a complex multiplication based calculation has converted to simple additions. Yes or no? It has become a simple addition based case. Now 6,000, 3,000 is 9,000, and 2,16,000. 2,16,000 and 9,000 is 2,25,000. 2,25,300 if I have to calculate this total. So 2,25,300 is what I'm getting here. Now whether it's 300, 200, 500, 25,000, 26,000 doesn't matter. Look at the options. 2,02,000 is out of range. 2,90,000 is out of range. 42 again is definitely out of range. Between 25,200 and 34,500, what is the best answer? Option 3 is the best answer. Like I told you, we always look for best answer. Right? Look for the best answer. There is no right answer here. There is always a best answer. So in my view, the best answer is option 3 as against the remaining options. Okay? So option 3, 2,25,200. But I see many of you marked option 5. Why? Bhanur, Praveen, Karthik got option 2. Yeah? Praveen got option 4. Option 3 is the answer. Very close to option 3. I mean, look at the calculation that you've done, right? Very, very close to option 3. So check where you're going wrong, right? Moving on to the next one. Here's the next question. 96,846 divided by 2,418 into 599.95 plus 568.75 into 0.298. Here we go. 96,846 upon 2,418 into 599.95, no doubt is 600. So into 600 plus 568.75 can be taken as, see again, if you understand, there are two terms you are multiplying, A and B. When you are multiplying two numbers and if you want to approximate both of them, if you are increasing one, try to decrease the other. You'll remain closer to the answer. We have discussed this technique in our approximations video as well, right? When you're increasing one number, decrease the other. When you're decreasing the other number, try to increase the first one. Inverse operations have to be done, right? You'll remain closer to the answer. By increasing both, you will go far away from the correct answer. By decreasing both, again you will go far away from the correct answer, right? So here, I am sure I am going to take 0.298 as 0.3. This is approximately 0.3. Since I've increased this, maybe I would like to decrease this. So I can take it as 568, or doesn't matter. I mean, 0.298 and 0.3 is hardly any difference. It's like 0.002. 0.002 multiplied with 568.75 will not have a major impact. So I can as well take it as 570 also. I mean, not too much of a difference. See, remember, when you are answering questions from approximations, right, the change that you do on the number doesn't matter as much as the impact that it will bring on the whole calculation, right? Like some of you may say 0.002 is very small. Yes, it is very small, but it also depends on what is there on the right hand side. I mean, what is there in the first part here. If the first part, let's say, is 10 lakhs, that 0.002 on 10 lakhs will bring a huge difference. But it is only 570 here. So I can neglect that change. So while we are increasing both the numbers, I am still very close to the correct answer. Okay. So this is 570 into 0.3, or rather 57 into 3. 570 into 0.3 is 57 into 3, which is 150 plus 21, 171. This is 171. So second term is done, 171. The first term. Understand, if you take this as 96,000 by 2,400 is exactly 40 times. Because 24 into 4 is 96. Right? So, or 24 into 40 is 960. You're getting it? So 2,400. Forget about this 18 for some time. Forget about 846 for some time. 96,000 by 2,400 is going to be 40. 18 into 40 is what? 720. So we are very close to 40 times. You're getting it? I mean, if I now look at it, 96,720 is exactly 40 times. How much extra do we have? 120. Now 120 upon 2,418 hardly has any impact. So this is like clearly 40 times. 40 into 60. 600. You're able to follow? 2,418 into 40 will give you 96,720. 96,720 and 846 are very close to each other. So this can be approximated as 40. This first term is 40. 40 into 600. What is 40 into 600? 40 into 600 plus 171. 40 into 600. This is like 24,000. 24,000 and 171. 24,200. You know, that's the best option. All others are not even in the range, right? 25,000, 26,000, 26,000. By the way, second and fourth options are same here. Fifth option, 27,000 is also out of range. So 24,200, option 3 is the best answer. Yeah. Oh, I see Hari doing a great range of approximation. I mean, you have taken 96,846 as 1 lakh and 2,418 as 2,500. I think you can do better than that. I mean, that also gives you 40. So you are fortunate that your answer is correct, Hari, but that can lead you to wrong answers sometimes. That much of room is not available, right? Because the options are, if you see, some options are close, right? 26,500 and 27,000 are close. There's a difference of only 500. 24,200, 25,000, there is a difference of only 800. So by doing that kind of approximation, you may get a variation of 700-800, and that will lead you marking a wrong answer. Okay? So be careful. I think if anybody there has done 1 lakh by 2,500, you are taking too much of room for approximation. Okay? Anyway, option 3 is the answer. Let's take up the next one. Here's the next question. 1526.79 into 24.98 plus 596.68. That looks like a simple one. Let's take it up. So the next question here is 1526.79 into 24.98, which is very close to 25. So just take it as 25, and this is 596.68, which is 600. So basically 1526.79. So even if you take it as 1500, I'm approximating to a great deal. I mean, 26.79 I'm neglecting here. I mean, it cannot be neglected because 26.79 into 25 will give you somewhere around 1200 or so, 1300 or so, but we'll come to that. Or maybe take it as 1526. Let's avoid that confusion. 1526 into 25 plus 600. Now, what do you do? 1500 into 25, 26 into 25. Keep it. Options are anyway spaced out very nicely here. 48,000, 38,000, 32,000, 45,000, 42,000. So clearly you will be closer to the right answer there. So 1500 into 25. What is 1500 into 25? It will be 37,500. Yes or no? 1500 into 25. 15 into 25 is 375. 1525 will be 375 into 100. 37,500. 26 into 25. What is 26 into 25? So 25 into 25. What is 25 square? 625, right? So this is 650. 26 into 25, 650. Plus 650 plus 600. So you are in the range of 37,000, 38,000 something, right? All are eliminated. This. best answer. Option 2 is the best answer. You can also take 25 as 100 by 4. That's another way of doing it. Yeah. So 38,800. Okay, let's take up the next one. This is the last one from approximations, and then we'll jump to data interpretation. Data interpretation, and where we have line graphs and pie charts. Okay, so here's the next question. 69.89% of 870 equals what minus 85.8% of 39.8 minus 72.98. Okay, here we go. So 69.89% of 870. 69.89 is close to 70. So 70% of 870 equals question mark minus. Now this 85.8 can be considered as 86%. 86% of 39.8 is very close to 40 minus 72.98 is like 73. Right? And these are simple percentage calculations that you can do really quick. Like 70% of 870 is like 870 minus 30%. 70% I'm taking it as 100% minus 30%. So this will be like, I mean, I'll tell you what mentally happens in the brain, in my brain, right? 70% is 100% minus 30%. So 870 minus 30% of 870, 240 and 21, 261 equals to question mark minus 86% of 40 will be 100% minus 14%, right? Or 80% plus 6%. So 80% is 32, 6% will be 2.4, so 34.4 or 34, yeah, minus 73 as it is. So 34 and 73 is 107, minus 107 when it goes to the other side becomes plus 107. So I'll say 870 minus 261 plus 107. So 870 minus 260 is like 600. 600 plus 107 is like 707. 706. Somewhere around that, yeah. Option 3. Please do not go by the number of steps again. I mean, I was trying to just put what I get on paper. And I'm sure same happens with everybody here, right? You just have to practice on mental calculation. So I think the first important message that all of you should take away is not just for approximations or simplifications, but for any question that you have to answer in quantitative aptitude, you have to do or deal with numbers. So it's very, very critical that you start practicing on your numerical skills, improving on your numerical skills. You already know how to multiply, add, divide, subtract, no doubt. But do you know the best of the methods? Do you know the best of the techniques? Are you really doing it quick? Or you can improve on your speed? Answer to all these questions would be yes, you can improve on your speed always, right? So practice on your numerical skills and get to the calculations really quick. 716, I think 716, not 706. Yeah. How to do it too quick is what Anand Kumar has asked. Anand, go to the speed math section. There are a lot of techniques that I've discussed there. That's not the end of the world when it comes to techniques, right? Those are only a handful of techniques that have been brought to you. But then learning more and more technique is not going to be useful. What is going to help you is being able to use the technique, being able to apply the technique when it is really required. So learn those techniques that we have and practice as much as you can. See, instead of learning 20 different techniques or 100 different techniques, I would say learn 5 techniques or 10 of those techniques and be really proficient in applying it. Yeah, that's important more than knowing how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it. I'll recall the technique. I'll think of the method, then I'll do it. And if it takes like 30 seconds to do 2-digit multiplication, then what's the point? Yeah. So keep practicing. I think that's the shortcut. Let's move on to data interpretation. Data interpretation. So let's look at this. There's one question on bar diagram, what is also called as histograms, where we have the number of factories in various states in India and China. Different types of factories, basically steel factories, cement factories, cotton, sugar, fertilizer and textile factories. Okay, so I'll present the graph to you, spend maybe 5-10 seconds observing the graph, and then we'll look at the questions one after the other. Here's the data. Now let's look at the questions. So basically, as you can see here, we have been given the number of factories in India and China The different types of factories are here mentioned on the y-axis: textile, fertilizer, sugar, etc. The orange bar is on China. It's about China, and the blue ones represent India. And understand the numbers have to be taken up properly. Like anything that meets with the horizontal line is a clear indicator that this is 1000 and this is like 400, right? You understand? This is 400, this is 1000, this is 800, this is going to be 600, and so on. But wherever it's not ending properly, you have to be careful. Like for example, if you see, this is exactly between this line here is exactly between 400 and 600. So I can take it as 500, right? This one is exactly in the middle of 800 and 1000. Exactly, as in, with human eye you can see that it's between 800 and 900, properly between 800 and 900, 800 and 1000. So that can be taken as 900. This one is between, this one here is between 6 and 8. So that's like 700. So be careful when you're picking up the numbers. So if you look at this one now, this is not 700. This is more than 700 but less than 800. You understand? See, we have considered this as 700. So this is 700 and this one is 800. Something that comes in somewhere in the middle of it, close to the middle of it, should be taken as 750. So this is going to be 750. So I think the only important point is you have to be careful when you are picking up these numbers. Many of the times they directly give you the numbers, but in case numbers are not given, choose it properly, right? Don't take 750 as 700 or 700 as 750 or some random number there and commit an error. Okay? So be careful with the values. Here's the first question. Try it out now. The first question says, if production of cement in India is 27,000 tons and that in China is 15,000 tons, what's the difference between their productivity? Productivity is production by number of industries. Actually, it's a number of factories, right? Number of factories, not industries. Number of factories. Anyways, you have got the context, solve it. Simple question, the formula is given, you have to do 3 calculations. Alright, so here's the first one. If production of cement in India is 27,000 tons and that in China is 15,000 tons, what's the difference between the productivity? And what's the definition of productivity here? Production divided by number of industries. See, he's talking about cement, right? How many cement industries do we have? In China we have 600, and I think in India you should take it as 750, right? This is 3/4 of the whole distance here, so it is 150. See, distance is 200 always, right? Numbers are all spaced out at 200. So 3/4 of 200 is 150. So 600 plus 150 is 750. So we know the number of industries, we know the production. We have to find out the productivity first. So what is the productivity of India? Production by number of industries. So production is 27,000 tons divided by number of industries in India is 750. And that of China, production or productivity of China is equal to 15,000 tons divided by 600. Oh, I think this is simple. 250, yes. 150 by 6 is, sorry, 25, not 250. This is 25. One value is 25, you have to find the other value, right? 150 by 6 is 25. Now, how about this one? 27,000 by 750. See, 22,500 is 30 times. We will still have 4,500. That is 60% of 10. So 6 times. 30 plus 6, 36 times. I think this will give you 36. Not I think, but I'm sure this will give you 36. So 36 and 25. What's the difference? 11. 11 tons is the difference in productivity. Yeah? Next question. What is the difference between total industries in India and China? Now, there's no shortcut to this. You have to add and get to the answer. There's no other shortcut. So do that calculation and arrive at the answer. Okay? I'll leave that to you. That's a setup. Next question here. If ratio between steel in India and China is 3:5 and production of steel in China is 1500 tons, what is the respective ratio of productivity? Again, productivity question, which is production by number of industries. Yeah, he's given the ratio between steel in India and China, 3:5, and the production of steel in China is 1500 tons. So I think the production ratio is given 3:5. India is to China is equal to 3:5, and the production in China is 1500. So what is 5 here is 1500. So what will be 3 then? 900, right? 900 is to 1500 is 3:5. Are you able to follow? in the earlier question, if you remember, the production was directly given to us of the two countries. But this time, ratio of the production is given and production of one of the countries is given. So we can find out the production of the other country as well, right? 5 parts is 1500, 3 parts will be 900. Now again, we have to do the same thing. Calculate the productivity, ratio of the productivity. Earlier it was difference of the productivity, now it is the ratio of productivity. Now which item are we talking about? Steel. How many steel industries are there in the two countries? China has got 500, India has got 300. So productivity of India is going to be production 900 by number of industries 300, which is equal to 3, and productivity of China is going to be what? Production 1500 by number of industries is 500, which is again 3. So 3:3 ratio is 1:1, right? Ratio is asked. Ratio is 3:3, which is equal to 1:1. I think what could have been done smartly here is, if you observe, the production ratio is 3:5. The industry ratio is also 3:5. 300:500. I mean, of course, I did not get that idea initially. Now that we have got 1:1, I am thinking about it. But somebody who had got this in the very beginning is really smart, I would say. Production ratio is 3:5. Industry ratio is also 3:5. Obviously, productivity ratio will be 1:1 because 3:5 by 3:5. You understand? It will give you 1:1. Option 3. Next question. The number of cotton industries in China is approximately what percentage of total number of cement industries in India? So this is like X is what percent of Y, right? A very, very popular question type in percentages. X is what percent of Y? X is what percent of Y? X by Y into 100. What is X here? Number of cotton industries in China is X. This is approximately what percent of the number of cement industries in India. Now cotton in China is how much? 500. Cement in India is what? 750? Yes. So China's cotton is approximately what percent of India's cement? X is what percent of Y? X by Y. So 500 by 750. 500 by 750 is 2 by 3. Simple. 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is what percentage? 66.66 or 67. Option 5. These are all 5 second wala questions, right? Next one. The number of sugar industries in India is approximately what percentage of the total number of all the industries in the same country? This is again X is what percentage of Y. What is X? Sugar in India is approximately what percentage of the total number of all industries in the same country, meaning in India. So sugar in India is what percentage of total in India? X is what percentage of Y? X by Y into 100. How much is sugar in India, by the way? Sugar in India is 600. Total of India has to be calculated. I am sure if you had answered the previous question, one of the questions here, you will know what is the total industries in India. So half of the calculation is already done for the last question. See, I am assuming all of us will solve this question in the exam. You will know what is the total number of industries in India already. So don't repeat the calculation again. You already know what is the total in India. You know the number of sugar industries in India. X is what percentage of Y? 600 by total into 100. Calculation is your lookout. Total, right? This is like 300 plus 750. So 1050 plus 700 is 1750 plus 600 is 2350, 2350 plus 400 is 2750, 2750 plus 900. I think it will be 3650 if I have not mistaken anywhere in picking the numbers. 3650. So 600 by 3650. Approximately he said. So 600 by 3600. It's like 1/6. 1/6 is 16.66. Option 2. Yes or no? So I think, yeah, one bar graph, simple question. I mean, easy one, I would say. Really easy one. But still, you have to be really quick. Even if the question is easy, you should be working towards arriving at the answer really quick, right? And calculation is the key. There's no shortcut. It's all about the calculation there. Okay? Now there's one more question on data interpretation about some petrol cars, diesel cars and all that. Should we take it up? Simple one, I guess. Let's try this. Not try this, let's take this. I'll present the data to you, understand the data, and then we will answer the questions. Here we go. So it's talking about percentage-wise distribution of cars in 4 different states. Why do I think one of the numbers is missing? Something is missing. Yeah, but you can do that calculation, right? Even if it is missing, you know what it is. Percentages are given, the third one can be, fourth one can be calculated. So I think it's not like a real missing DI type of question. Only one number is missing. You can calculate that. Here we go. So the pie chart shows percentage wise distribution of cars in 4 different states. The total number of cars are 700. The table shows ratio between diesel and petrol engine cars which are distributed among 4 different states. So there are 4 states. Tamil Nadu, I'm assuming TN is Tamil Nadu by the way, yeah. MP, Madhya Pradesh, AP, Andhra Pradesh, UP, Uttar Pradesh. But okay, TN, MP, AP, UP. The pie chart is given with distribution of cars in these 4 states. The total number of cars is 700. So the total value for this pie chart is 700, right? Okay, by the way, MP is not mentioned here, but obviously total is 100%, of which 3 states numbers are known to us. So the 4 states can be calculated, right? 14 and 26 is 40, 40 plus 28 is 68. So this should be 32%. 100% minus 68%. So 32%. Right? MP is 32%. And I think since there are only 4 numbers, I'm sure calculations would need us to do. So how many cars are there in UP? 14% of 700. 14% of 700 will be what? 70 plus 28, 98. You know, so you should be very quick in calculations. So 28% of 700. That's like 30% minus 2%. So 210 minus 14, 196. Right? 26%. 26% is 20% plus 6%. So 140 plus 42, 182. Simple, very simple calculations. 32%. 32% is 210 plus 14, 224. And then divide these number of cars in the ratio. 3:4 ratio, 5:9 ratio, 5:3 ratio, 1:1 ratio. So all simple. Yeah. Number of petrol engine cars in MP. Petrol engine in MP. MP total number of cars is what? 32%. 32% is total was 700, right? So what is it? 210 plus 14, 224. Is what percentage more than number of diesel engine cars in UP? UP is how much? 14% of 700 is 98. So basically number of petrol engine cars in MP. How many petrol engine cars will be there in MP? See, MP ratio is 5:3. For every 5 diesel cars, there are 3 petrol cars. Meaning number of petrol engine cars in MP will be 3 out of 8. 5 plus 3, 8. Multiplied by the total number of cars in MP, which is 224. This is one term. Is what percentage more, he said. So first let's calculate both the values. Then diesel engine in UP. This is petrol in MP. MP petrol. What is UP diesel? What is UP diesel? See, UP, it is 3:4, right? Ratio is 3:4. So diesel will be 3 out of 7. 3 out of 7. Multiplied by total. UP is 98. So find the numbers first. 224 by 8. 224 by 8 is 30 minus 2. 28. 28 into 3, 84. So this comes out to be 84. This is 14 into 3, 42. Right? So 84 and 42. Now he says number of petrol cars in MP is what percentage more than diesel cars in UP? 100% more, right? It is simply double. You don't have to do percentage calculation at all. 42, here 84, it is double, right? Double means it is 100% more. Yes or no? But actual calculation is this. X is what percentage more than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. So 84 minus 42 by 42 into 100. But if you do this in the exam, then you are not fully prepared, I would say. Because smart students will say, this is doubled, meaning it is 100% more. They will not put numbers like this. It is a correct calculation, but not the best method. Next, if 25% of diesel engine cars in MP are AC and remaining are non-AC, what is the number of diesel engine cars in MP which are non-AC? I think MP calculation we have already done, right? 224. How many are diesel engine cars? So diesel in MP. First of all, find out diesel in MP. How many will be diesel in MP? 5 out of 8. 5 by 8 into 224. So that's like 28 into 5, 140, right? Yes or no? 28 times into 5, 140. There are total 140 cars, diesel cars in MP. He says 25% of these diesel cars in MP are AC and remaining are non-AC. So what is the number of diesel engine cars in MP which are non-AC? How many are non-AC? 75%. If 25% are AC, 75% is non-AC. 75% of what? 75% of 140, which is 105. Option 4. Hey, many of your marks, option 1 is the answer. What is wrong with you guys? 25% are AC, so 75% are non-AC, but he's asking number of cars. Number of cars is not 75. Percentage is 75. Looks like I've done something wrong in the previous question. Somebody says it was 48 in the previous one. Will it be 48? How will it be 48, Nilab? 14, right? This goes 14 times. 14 into 3 is 42 only, no? Why will it be 48? It will be 42 only, Nilab. Don't get confused. This is 42, this is 84. 75%, yeah. So back to this question, 75% of 140 will be 105. Simple. What is the difference between number of diesel engine cars in Tamil Nadu and number of petrol engine cars? I mean, these are all same stuff, right? Find out diesel engine cars in Tamil Nadu, find out the petrol engine cars in AP, and take the difference. I mean, I leave that to you. There is nothing that I have to teach in that particular question. So guys, I think the moral of the story is simple. From today, even if you have not started early, from today, when I say from today, you 4 more hours to go for the midnight, right? So even if you have not done it yet, from today you have to spend at least 45 minutes in your numerical skills. What do? Learn all the SpeedMart techniques that we have in our quantitative aptitude course and practice on those techniques, because calculation is the key. Hands down, the best way to score more in quantitative aptitude is to be accurate, 100% accurate, and be quick in your calculations. Okay, so that's the key. Make sure that you practice on numbers, keep practicing, and I'm sure initially it will be difficult. You will be like, boss, will it really help me in exam? I know how to multiply, I can do it on paper better than doing all this. So that struggle would be there for 1-2 weeks. That struggle will be there, but I'm sure from the 22nd day onwards, you do it for 21 days, continuously do it for 21 days, starting today. Today is 30th of August. From 30th August till 19th September, you just keep practicing on calculations. I mean, you have to do the other things also, but 45 minutes per day, do this. I'm sure on 20th September, you will feel that difference. Now don't ask me why 21 days. What is the logic behind 21 days? I'll tell that to you later. First do it. Do it for 21 days. You'll automatically feel that yes, you have improved a lot on the 22nd day. And your score will shoot up in the exam. As plain as that. Okay, so I think that's all from the session today. You have to practice. I have no other shortcut, and I don't have anything else to say. I end up saying the same thing always, because that's the fact. Sony, I have some queries here. I think I'll take it up. Sony says, I'm getting scared to take mock tests. I understand how important mock tests are, but still because of this phobia, I'm skipping these tests. No point in doing that, Sony. The best way to overcome your fear is to do things that you get scared of. Take those mock tests. What will happen? You'll score 0. You'll score negative, right? It will not come and eat you, right? Why are you? What is this phobia of taking mock tests? I don't know. I have to check with Vaishnavi if there is a term for phobia of tests. I know there's a long list of phobias that you have to know, but this is something weird, Sony. Why are you scared of taking mock tests? I am sure the fear that you have is you'll score less. Overcome that. As simple as that. You cannot skip these tests. You cannot skip these tests. Which questions to attempt first, Nitin? I think it's too early to discuss that. You keep practicing first, get your concepts built fully, and then we will discuss such things in our exam strategy, preparation strategy sessions. Priya says, I try to apply speed math and improve my speed, but end up running the accuracy of the same. End up ruining the accuracy of the same. Any suggestion? Should I first focus on speed or accuracy? No, first focus on accuracy. Speed comes by itself, right? I mean, there are two things always, right? Speed and accuracy. So accuracy is important, and then comes speed. Like even when you, again, I'm kind of getting into cricket, but for bowlers there are two things, right? Line and the length. You can't get both the things right at the same time, right? First the length has to be done, and then focus on the line, or vice versa. But here, first focus on accuracy, right? The technique should give you the right answer. What is 36 into 42? 36 into 42 is like 1296. Okay, I was so quick. I got the answer 36 into 42 in like 2 seconds. But the answer is wrong. So what's the point? Accuracy. Accuracy is important. First focus on accuracy, then work on speed. Is this session on IBPSPO Mock 1? Yes, IBPSPO Mock 1. Selvi says, please do the last question on pie chart. Why do you want to do the last question on pie chart? What is the difference in the number of diesel engine cars in Tamil Nadu and number of petrol? I'm not sharing my screen. Let me do it mentally, right? I'm sure you have the question with yourself. Number of diesel engine cars in Tamil Nadu. Total cars in Tamil Nadu is 28% of 700, 28% of 700, of which I need diesel cars. Diesel cars in Tamil Nadu will be 5 by 14. So 5 by 14 into 28. There's like 5 by 14 28 is 10. 10 into 7, 70. So 70 cars of diesel in Tamil Nadu. Number of petrol cars in AP. Petrol cars in AP, 1:1 is the ratio. Simple. Take half of it. 26%. So half will be 13%. 13% of 700 will be 70 plus. Looks like the answer is not there. That's why you asked me to do it. No, it's there. 21. 70% of, sorry, 13% of 700 is 91. So one number is 70, the other number is 91. The difference is 21. Option 2 is the answer. Why? Mockologia is the term that Nilab has coined for you. The phobia for taking mock exams. That's funny. Okay. Alright, so I think I'll take a leave now. Guys, we have got the best of the content. I mean, trying to get the best of the content always, right? That's our endeavor. But you guys have to practice really hard, right? Leave no stone unturned. Don't worry about what will happen. Just keep doing it. For the next 45 days, just keep practicing. Yeah. Okay, so on that note, let me close it here. Thank you once again for joining us. How many times do I say this? Keep practicing. And yes, do take very good care of yourselves. I'll meet you all in the next session. I don't know when the next session is, but there is a calendar on your platform on the dashboard. So check the calendar and join us. I'm sure, okay, I know when the next session is. The next session is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Friday, right? We have English language, and Vaishnavi is going to come to deal with the English language section of the IBPSPO mock exam 1, which was conducted on All India mock exam 1, which was conducted on last weekend. Okay, and day after tomorrow we'll have the next All India mock exam. So keep participating in those mock exams, All India mock exams, and keep moving forward. Thank you. Preferences of the topics to be covered first while preparation. I think Piyush, you cannot skip any topic, right? You have to be prepared for all the topics. You never know what will get what kind of weightage. But yeah, usually simplifications, approximations, number series, equations, these are important stuff. So focus on those first. I think if you go by the sequence in which the topics have been arranged in quant, right? See, we are all smart guys at Talentsmith. We have arranged the topics in such a way that even if you follow the sequence, automatically you will be able to score more. Of course, data interpretation comes towards the little end. So while I was talking, I realized that we are not so smart because DI is towards the end. Yeah, so I think important topics are simplifications, approximations, number series, equations, data interpretation and stuff, because these carry weightage of 5 marks. So just follow that logic. And finally closing now, bye.